Let me start by thanking the Acting Premier and your government, as well as Events South Australia and our colleagues at the Adelaide Oval. It's been a very collaborative process working together, and without the support of the South Australian government, this game would not have been played here. This is a really important match. These are round 3 qualifiers for the Socceroos, and what that means is that every match is meaningful. If we win these games, if we win this match against China on the 10th of October, and we win other games in round 3, we will go directly to the World Cup in North America in 2026. It's these qualifiers, if we go back through the history of the Socceroos, that really mean something. We remember in 2022, Andrew Redmayne saving a penalty against Peru, which led us to go to the World Cup in 2022. We remember Josh Kennedy in 2011 scoring a header, which allowed us to progress to the World Cup in 2014. Remember Mark Bresciano scoring in 2005 against Uruguay. This match on the 10th of October is another one of these matches which will be a story on our journey towards the 2026 World Cup. For Football Australia, this is important that we bring the Socceroos back to Adelaide. We have not been here since 2017. We fought very hard to ensure that South Australia got to see Women's World Cup content. Last year at the Women's World Cup, we brought the Matildas here in May. So bringing the Subway Socceroos here to Adelaide, it's important for us because we want to ensure that our 2 iconic national team brands are seen in every corner around Australia. It's important for the South Australian community that we bring the Socceroos here. We're delighted. It's going to be a great match. So to the community, please come out, get your tickets early. These tickets are going to go very, very quickly, and see you here on the 10th of October for a great match against China. Thank you very much.
Thank you, James. I'll now ask Subway Socceroos head coach Graham Arnold for a brief statement, and then we'll open the floor for questions.
Thank you. Great to be here in South Australia, of course, and especially Adelaide. First of all, thank you so much to Sue, the Acting Premier, for having us here in South Australia, the events team from South Australia, but also South Australian Football Association. It's been a long time since the Socceroos have been here. As James Johnson said, 2017 was the last time we played here in South Australia, and it's going to be very exciting. I know that we have quite a number of boys that are a part of the Socceroos at the moment and have a big role to play in the team, and it will be a very, very special night for them, playing in front of families and friends here on a fantastic oval here at Adelaide Oval. And as James and Sue said, that let's get the stadium full, let's get everyone right behind the Socceroos, and it is a World Cup qualifier against China. It'll be a big game, and no doubt it'll be a fantastic evening. So once again, thank you for having us.
Arnie, like you say, it's been such a long time since we've had the Socceroos here. We talk about South Aussies, particularly Craig Goodwin. He's had such a storied career at Socceroos level, never played here. How exciting is it for him in particular that he's going to come back to Adelaide?
Yeah, I think Goody is one that's pushed this. It's been I think it's a dream of his to play for the Socceroos before he retires or the end of his career. And I just spoke to him the other night and told him that secretly told him that it was coming down here in October, and he was just so motivated and excited. So he'll go back to his club in Saudi Arabia and get himself ready. And but it's not only just Goody. Goody's been a great leader and a great inspiration for a lot of South Australian boys. And we've got, as I said, quite a contingent of players that are doing very, very well overseas and coming from South Australian football, and they're developing players for us very, very well.
Adelaide seems to be put on the map a lot more these days, particularly in the last year when it comes to big sporting events. There was the Matildas here recently, obviously, and we've got things like Gather Round and Live Golf. What do you think about South Australia when it comes to, I guess, the sporting opportunities that are coming here, especially considering the Socceroos have been here for many years?
Look, I think it's fantastic because when you land at the airport, 10 minutes to the city, and it's 5-10 minutes to everything. So it's very easy. When you a lot of times we go into Tokyo or Seoul or anywhere around the world, you land and it takes an hour and a half to get to the hotel and the venue and the training facility. So no doubt we'll be training in Hindmarsh, which is a 10-minute drive, so it makes it very, very easy.
Graham, can I ask you about Group C? It's a strong group, I think it's fair to say. How big a challenge is it going to be for the Socceroos to secure direct qualification out of the group?
Look, that's a goal. That's the expectation is direct qualification and to top the group. And we don't go, just trying to, get in the top 2 or top 3. It's about winning the group. And I truly believe in our group of players that we've got. We've developed a lot of boys over the last couple of years. The last 6 games, 22 goals for to 0 against. And kids are coming through, and kids bring energy and bring those great experiences. I think the Group C is a good group for us because we've got 3 teams in China, Indonesia, and Japan, and East Asia. So it's a shorter trip, and group in the second part of the draw, or our part of the draw, it's home and away every game, every window. So when the boys come here to play at home, it's a shorter trip to Indonesia, China, and Japan before they head back. The conditions are much better as well, and but overall, we've learnt a lot in the last campaign. Last time we had Saudi, last time we had Japan, last time we had China. So we've already played against them. We know what they're about. We know where we're going to, and so there'll be no surprises. But for me, as a coach, my expectations are very, very, very high. And when you look at the players individually, we've now got players playing in the English Premier League. We've now got players playing in Bundesliga 1. Some players playing in the Serie A in Italy. So, come on, we're doing well, and we will do well.
Touch on training at Hindmarsh. I know when Goody's spoken about the game before, he said that he would like it to be at Hindmarsh. Where do you sit on that debate? Obviously, it would be great if we can sell this out again, but where do you sit on playing in a boutique stadium compared to here?
Yeah, look, I think you can't fit 60,000 in there, and that's what we want. We want a full stadium. We want the fans. We want to reward the fans as well with their passion and love for the Socceroos as well, because as I said, we haven't been here for years, and the last campaign we would have loved to have come, but COVID hit us and we couldn't get across here as well. But it's a reward for we're playing the first game in September and on the Gold Coast. We haven't played there before, and as James said, that the branding and the word of the Socceroos is not just New South Wales or Sydney and Melbourne. It's the whole of Australia that we're representing. So it gives a great population here in South Australia an opportunity to come and support the boys.
Yeah, a bit of a scroll up there earlier.
Yeah.
What do you make of it, Brendan?
I got chased off quick. Look, I just wanted to see what it's like to stand in the middle, and I've done it before at the MCG and that when we played down there, and it's it's great, looking up at the stands and that, and I just start to visualise how it look with a football pitch on there and where the end lines are and the side lines are, and obviously the distance to the fans, and that's it's important.
As you compare, it's obviously a very unique stadium, given it doesn't have a back. But when you're looking around and you're obviously competitive with the MCG, but also just around the world, what experience do you think Adelaide Oval offers?
Yeah, look, I think it's obviously completely different to only a few months ago where we played at Wembley, and and in Qatar and the stadiums that they've got. But it's a unique stadium. It's something completely different for the boys, and sometimes obviously playing different locations, different stadiums. The boys are very, very happy to do it.
Arnie, can you give us a word as well on how many South Australians we'll be expecting in the squad?
Me selecting them? My memory at the moment, it's switched off. But look, I reckon at this moment, and there's boys like, Yengi and these boys that have obviously come from here and moved overseas, but I reckon there'll be half a dozen, maybe 8. And they've been with us, Joe Gauchi and Craig Goodwin and these boys, Riley McGree and all of them. And, I saw it, it's a big point for me that, when we played Palestine in Perth, and I started all the boys who were born in Perth, and they're in front of families and friends, and, just the energy that brings to those boys to give them that lifetime dream of playing in their own state and in front of their families and mates is fantastic.
You also gave Nesta Nkunda a taste in those friendlies. We've seen already he's gone across and scored in the academy game. I think there was pictures of him training for the first team today. What does he have to do? Does he have to have exposure to the first team to push in these next months to get back to the Socceroos?
No, look, I think it was fantastic having Nesta in camp, and he fit in very well, and he did extremely well. What I asked him to do, I gave him the biggest test, if I can say that a mental test for him of having to play in Bangladesh in that type of climate and not on a great pitch. And, you know, sometimes that's a good test for the younger ones that they then have a challenge in front. But Nesta he's a great talent. He's a fantastic talent. What does he have to do to stay with us? Just keep performing and, you know, keeping fit and working hard. And, you know, my assistant coach, René Molenstein, will be heading across to Bayern Munich probably next week to, you know, touch base with Bayern to see how he's going and what else we can do for Nesta while he's there, because we're here to support.
You touched on Bayern Munich, obviously. What does a club like that do for Nesta's development?
It's going to be massive. It's going to be massive. It's, you know, when you go to a club like that, what you learn straight away, but also with the tactical side, the technical side, the physical side will be probably the biggest thing because of the speed of the games, the speed of the league. But then playing in front of massive crowds at Munich and these type of things, that he'll learn very quickly how to deal with pressure because you've seen the Euros, you've seen the pressure that's put on the players, that it's something the kid will learn very quickly.
You mentioned 5-6 South Australians in the squad. That's been pretty consistent in your last few squads. Big overperformance when it comes to South Australia's population. Just a word on the production line of the state.
I think the development that they're doing here is fantastic. You know, they're giving kids a chance. Calvert is doing a fantastic job, a local, and I think that's a big thing, having a local coach that understands the local game and the grassroots here, and obviously, but South Australian football, as I said, is developing players very, very well, and it's helping us a lot.
And Gold Coast for the first time here in 7 years. You mentioned how important it is for the players to play in front of their families. But how about the young kids who may have never seen these heroes play for the national team in first? How important is it for them?
No, it's a great point as well. You know, it's when you're playing these type of stadiums and you're playing these type of states, and it inspires the kids. The kids come out and watch, and they then dream of becoming a Socceroo, or they start dreaming about their future, and that's what the boys are there for. That's what I'm here for, is to inspire the next generation and make the nation proud. And it's not my team; it's the nation's team, and it's going to be great to see, as I said, a lot of young kids here and be at the game.
You've been pretty open in the past about your sort of key players. Think of Harry Sutar, for example, that they need to play. Now, if we look at Matt Ryan, looks like he's going to AS Roma. Such a big club, such a good move, but it might be hard for him to get regular game time. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I spoke to Matty before he signed there, and it's a 50-50. You know, he's not going there to be a second keeper at all. He's going there to be number one. They've got a young Belgian keeper at this moment in time, and they wanted a top experienced goalkeeper. So Matty's going there, and as I said, I spoke to him the other day. He's got a strong belief in himself, and he's expecting to go there and play. But, you know, a club like Roma is, you know, they're going to play 60-odd games this year with Champions League and obviously the Serie A and Cup competitions. And then we've got, you know, in this calendar year, we've got 10 international games. So that's 70 games, and if he gets 30, you know, we'll be very happy.
Just a quick word on the Olyroos as well. Obviously, there was extenuating circumstances behind not making the Olympics with fixture clashes and injuries, but you were concerned at all about the lack of depth coming through, talent?
No, look, I think there was more challenges for that than, you know, it was probably seen, obviously, with players not being released by clubs overseas, late injuries and things like that, but you know, that's part of it's what I think a lot of Australians don't understand is how strong Asia is getting. And, you know, we've got Indonesia game 2. They might be ranked 130 in the world, but they're getting stronger and stronger very, very quickly. And they're investing a lot of money into football. and Asia is getting stronger and stronger. So, most important thing is we just keep moving forward.
Speaking of Asia, Arnie, there's a report from Korea recently that you were their number one target to become their head coach, personally recommended by Gus Hiddink. Did you have any contact with them at all about that position?
No, I had contact with Gus. I'm Australian. I love the green and gold. I coach Australia, and the worst thing would have been if I'd gone and then we got Australia in the draw. So I don't think I could have ever done that. But no, look, I'm on a journey that I'm loving, and I've got a true belief in these boys that everyone talks about how well we did last World Cup, making the round of 16. Well, I think this time we're going to do better in America, and that's the goal.